And that will do it for the rules and what you can expect. So, with that being said, guys, I can't wait to see you on the first episode. Let me know which one you want to see first, Elden Ring or Skyrim. And I'm excited to welcome you to The True Way to Play. See you next time. Oh boy, Night Rain's out? Oh man, this is gonna be so fun, I can't wait! Wow, that Night Lord was so much fun, dude. Oh man, I heard. Okay, apparently the lore actually is present in this game somewhere. I gotta go over there and check it out in the training area. Let's see here. Sparring settings, that's not it. Armaments? Oh yeah! Oh yeah, no you can! Cracked from human bone. Oh, that's sick! Let's see. The Sacred Relic Sword. Hey, yeah, wrought from the remains of a god who should have lived a life eternal. Thoughts on what the weapon portends are many and varied. Some consider it the mark of a great sin or a sign of great end of an age, for others the beginning. So, wait, it's confirmed? We killed it? The events happened? Dark Moon Greatsword? Bestowed by a carrying queen upon her spouse to honor long-standing tradition. Wait, Ronnie gives us that. Hold on, wait, what? Are there... The only other Frenzied Flame Seal is the other... Yeah, wait, so we did that ending too. So we actually did Is the Prince of Death Staff? Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, so we did that quest line. We did those quest lines. And I was right? Oh my god, I was right? I've been postponing this whole time and I was right? Well, shoot. Here we are. I was lazy for so long and put this off for so long that now I have to just rush and get this one out. So, if the really poorly made intro didn't give it away, I have been in the process of trying to make a video series that I've been lazy and postponing for 2 months, but don't worry about that part. Um, and I went and decided to play Night Rain instead, because I thought it would be just fun and exciting to wait until the playtime was done to make the videos, only to then find out that the video that I was postponing creating would have been perfect to make before I knew all of what Night Rain had to offer. And so here I am, pressured into releasing this one as quickly as possible. So, like I said, welcome to The True Way to Play. Essentially, this was going to be a video series where we'd look at the lore implications at what your character would decide to do. It would be a way to immerse yourself, have a little fun with it. Decide for certain what your character would and would not do in the game, what ending they would pick, figure it out. It would have been based on rules like power for one thing, coolness factor being most important, obviously. And yeah, the achievements and all of the lore implications of quest lines, what you could do. So we're going to quickly try to go through that, because this is going to be a 2-episode series, because like I said, I was right, and the game proved it. So, to summarize it, this is going to be a really poorly made video. For that, I apologize. Look forward to part 2, where we get into the actual interesting stuff, I guess. So for starters, the true ending that your character would pick. There has been some debates. Some have stated that it's like repairing the full Golden Order. Some have stated it's Ronnie's ending. Some say it's the Frenzied Flame one. I don't know, whatever. But ultimately, we look at achievements. It'll come down to this: which one has the least implications of cutting off all of the interactions between people, so that you can do as much as possible. And ultimately, what we find is that Ronnie's questline seems to be the most inclusive. For one thing, the Frenzied Flame questline is a bad questline that everyone warns you against, and especially after Shadow of the Erdtree, we know for certain that your character most likely did not do that. A, because the world isn't burning down by the time you reach Shadow of the Erdtree, and B, if you decide to do the ending after Shadow of the Erdtree, you get an entire segment of horrifying woods that you explore to tell you why you should not do it. But you can do the full quest line and then reverse the effects. And so it makes perfect sense that you would do that, not only to get rid of the Frenzied Flame, but just for the items and completionist points, because why not? And then, to top all that off, you can do all of the quest lines to get all of the mending runes. And then from there, you're just supposed to pick one, I suppose. But that doesn't quite make sense either, because we've spent the entire game also learning about exactly why the Golden Order and the Greater Will have been frankly bad for the entire people of Elden Ring. I mean, you see it everywhere. People crucified left and right. If you explore at nighttime, the Golden Order has made it so that people can't die. So there's just people being crucified, screaming, endlessly, night after night. Like these people. So, that leaves morally the only correct option to be the Ronnie questline, which it makes sense, you know. You can get all of the items, complete it all, and then you can do Ronnie's questline. And from there, we finally get a place to start building off of. We finally get an idea of how our character would behave and what they would do. So, the next thing we would look at is class. What would your character do, and what would they choose? The rules that I am going to say for the next True Way to Play video, because I am way too excited to get this one out there to worry about stuff like that, basically dictated that we're going to be looking at this from max level. If all stats were 99, then what would even be possible? And what we find is that there are a couple of weapons that would be used, but most notably, if we were doing Ronnie's questline, a weapon that is not used by anyone else except for us would be the Dark Moon Greatsword, given to us by Ronnie. There was also some debate about the Glowmite Queen being Melina, and if that were the case, then it would make sense that in our offhand, or our primary hand, whichever you consider to be that. I don't know. I'm confused. I have no script for this video. We're just going for it. Fuck it, we ball. But basically, you would either just use the Dark Moon Greatsword plus the Frenzied Flame Seal in your offhand, or you would use the Godslayer's Greatsword in your offhand. And then that's that. And as far as armor goes, after Shadow of the Erdtree, it seems like the general consensus is that you win the duel and thus use the Armor of Solitude. Otherwise, it would seem that the Raging Wolf armor set is the way to go. It's the most promoted material. It seems to be one of the most widely used. And while it is used by someone else and not technically yours because of that, it also just is, like I said, it's something you won. And Rule of Cool, like I mentioned earlier, it trumps out the rest, and it's an awesome looking armor set, so I don't care. Because ultimately, I do think the Armor of Solitude would win after the events of Shadow of the Erdtree. We'll get more into that, again, second video, which is going to be far more important. So that's the summary of everything. And from there, we would determine your general route would go like this. To lore accurately play through the game, you would go through all of Limgrave, doing the quests left and right, encounter Ronnie, following the Grace as is told, and in doing so do the Blood Moon, not the Blood Moon, what am I talking about? The Blood Knights quest, Vare, and then you would progress everything just pretty much as normal, until you reach the point of the ending quest lines, where you would be tied up in all of them, getting all of the mending runes from your exploration, and ultimately deciding on Ronnie to be your ultimate benefactor. That is how you would end the series. And with that being said, that makes perfect sense. At least I feel it does. And then we had to go and hop into Night Rain. And that's when we find just this right here. Proof of our events, of all of our events. Except for, strangely, the Shadow of the Erdtree. Now, I will clarify that I have not beaten the game yet. While I am at what seems to be the final boss, the one that I am not going to say the name of now that I think about it, so I don't spoil. Spoiler alert for anyone involved. This has a lot to do with games, especially the second episode. But there are no armaments from Shadow of the Erdtree. Not a single one. In fact, the only reference to Shadow of the Erdtree is the golden hippopotamus, which is just an enemy that our character fights. And I think there's a reason for that. I think... Okay, so we're gonna continue that next time. I don't even know how long this video is going on for, but I was about to enter into potentially a 40-minute rant about just the lore implications from Night Rain in general. But that is where we're going to leave off here. So, I guess, officially, welcome to the true way to play. I can't wait to see you guys next time. I don't know how the playlists work or how to link videos afterwards, but I will try to figure it out afterwards. And so if you're interested in part 2, there will be a description in the comments or something, how to get there. If not, go to my channel. And that's it. Bye-bye.